I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. We're on class number 2 alphabetically. It's time to talk about the demon hunters. And we're going to go over the classes here, 0 being the worst card, 1 being the best card. These are my opinions. Please do not make anything based on what I'm doing. This is just how I feel each card ranks. And we're going to start off with number 10 here. The number 10 here is the Brutal. Brutal is a 9 mana 9/9 demon with taunt and rush. That says after this minion survives damage, deal that amount to an enemy hero. Again, the problem with this one and why this one is the lowest card on here is due to the fact that on 9 mana you're again trying to win a game. And the problem with this one is either you're dealing 8 to your opponent if they have something in the way, which could be like how you could win to a certain degree. They have like a 8/8 on the board. And you can't do quite 8 damage with your weapon. You can throw this down on 9 and deal 8 that way, but that's the only way that this wins. Because you basically don't care that this has taunt. You're trying to deal 8 damage, because unless you pump this some way, some shape, some form, if this takes 8, it can deal 8 back, but as soon as this takes the 9th, it doesn't deal the 9th back, it has to survive. So if you leave this up, your opponent gets to dictate how it trades into this. So it can do something like throw a 2 into it and then hit it with a 5. And then it takes, they could throw 2 into it and then hit it with an 8. So they take the 2 damage, and their 8 dies, but they only took 2 damage off of all this coming out. I mean, you stopped 8 damage from coming to you, of course. But, they get to dictate how this trades, and that's part of the problem. Is turn 9, you're wanting to win. Next up for us is going to be the Warband. Warband is a 4 mana no school spell for demon hunters. It says deal 4 damage if your deck has no minions, summon 4/4/1 and literary 1 for rush. The problem is if you're running no minions, and there is a way to run like a no minion deck, you're looking for Fell. This isn't Fell, and on turn 4, yeah, you can deal 4 damage, and you can summon 4 1/1s, but summoning 4 1/1s on turn 4 isn't as good as you think it is. I mean, it has no way to be recast. 4 1/1s on turn 4, there's a lot of ways that your opponent can just kind of do like a whirlwind effect or ignore them. Basically, the most you're doing is like 8 damage, or like kind of like doing a weird swipe that you can just decide how the swipe happens. Or you get to decide, you have to deal 4 to something, but then you can deal the extra 4 damage how you decide. And that's just not worth it, really. Not for going no minions in your entire deck. Next up for us is going to be believe it or not, it'll be one of the actual legendaries, the Forgotten. the Forgotten is a 4 mana 3/3 no type card. That says Battlecry, add a random outcast card to the left and rightmost side of your hand. They cost 2 less. For the outcast cards, there's some of them that just are not worth your time, energy, and effort. And there's some of them that are still high. I mean, right now, let me look and see what we got that's currently running in here. You got the Sigil Runner, which isn't worth it. Bloodthorn, which is maybe worth it. Spectral Sight, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, you can get the Naga, you can get Chaos Leech. But then you can also get into I-Beam. I mean, you can pick up the Kurtrus, I guess. You can get Vengeful Spirit. Everyone wants Vengeful Spirit, don't they? So, nothing in here is higher than 4 for Outcast right now. So basically everything you can almost play when you play this, but there's nothing really that you're sitting here and hoping to get. That's the problem. I mean, one of your best options, believe it or not, at this particular point, is just the Spectral Sight. And Spectral Sight, yeah, it draws you 2 cards, but are you hoping to draw 2 cards? Maybe Chaos Leech for the life gain? 1 mana Chaos Leech you add to the fells, that's going on. But you're going to get some random stuff, and you can end up with Vengeful Spirit. And Vengeful Spirit has like the worst ability. That's 2 mana, draw 2 Death Rattle minions. I mean, I just can't wait till the time where somebody gets Vengeful Spirit off this, and it's just cries. I mean, 4 mana 3/3, I just don't know what outcast you want at this point for it. Next up for us is number 7. Number 7 for us is the Mark of Scorn. Marcus Scorn is a 2 mana no school spell. This is a draw card. If it's not a minion, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. If you're trying to draw in Demon Hunter, there's way better ways to draw right now. I mean, and even if you go no minion on this doesn't have a school. So that's not helping you with what you're trying to do, which would be like the fell to do no minion. And, doing 3 damage to the lowest enemy hero for drawing a card, yeah, fine. But that's only if you go no minions in your entire deck, and this doesn't have any school. So I'm just not sure, who's looking for this particular card. Next up for us. is going to be number 6. Number 6 for us is going to be the... One second. Wrong card. Number 6 for us is going to be the Unleash Fel. Unleash Fel is a 1-mana Fel spell that says deal 1 damage to all enemies, mana thirst 4, with lifesteal. So, for 2 mana in the game, way back in the day, you could get a mage spell that was called Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion saw play. This is an Arcane Explosion that if you ever get the 4 mana crystals, like you don't have to have 4 mana open. You could play a 3-drop also and then play this. You'll still get the effect of the lifesteal. This is Fel. There's a Fel deck that's running basically for Demon Hunters. This is one of the few cards that I think will actually make it into if you're going to play a gnome minion Demon Hunter because it's Fel. Because what you're looking for is anything that says Fel sometimes in that particular deck. Next card up for us is going to be number 5. Which is the Scythe, the Soul Eater Scythe. Soul Eater Scythe is a 4 mana, 4 attack, 2 durability, legendary weapon for the Demon Hunters. It says start of game, consume 3 different minions in your deck, leave behind souls that discover them. This is the card that if you're going to be playing no minion Demon Hunter, it's going to be in your deck. You need this card in your deck, I think, if you're playing no Demon Hunter for Spell Demon Hunter. Because this lets you sneak in 3 minions. Because honestly, if you're not playing that deck, and you don't have the cards to play that deck, you're not playing this card in a regular minion deck. Because if you're just playing this in a regular deck, it's not worth playing a 4-mana 4/2. I mean, a 4/2, mana, weapon isn't the worst in the world, to be honest. That's not the worst thing to get is a 4-mana 4/2 weapon. But it's also not what you're trying to do. You're not going out of your way to stick this in here to just get 4 extra attack. You can put a different minion into your deck if you're just looking to get the 4 extra attack. That's why I'm putting this one down so low. It's not because it's super bad, but more because it's super niche. The only people who are going to be seeing this and playing this are people who are playing the no minion demon side. Next up for us is number 4. Number 4 for us is going to be the Deal with the Devil. It says summon 2/3 fiends with lifesteal. If your deck has no minions, summon another. It's 5 mana. 5 mana for 3/3 isn't the worst in the world. if you are going no minions, this is going to be a card that you're sticking in here, because the deck that's basically going no minions is also going fell. And this is going to let you have that defense that you're going to need at some point, because you really don't have too many ways of doing defensive stuff, and even having minions on your side of the board, because you're playing a no minion deck. But even if you're playing this in a regular deck, it's not the worst thing in the world, because of the simple fact that, 2 3/3s on 5, isn't the worst thing to write home about. Not the best thing either, to mind you. And the fact that they have lifesteal is a nice thing too. Next up for us, we're getting into the bronze. So this is number 3 for us. The number 3 card in Demon Hunter is going to be the Fierce Outsider. Fierce Outsider is a 1-mana 2/1 rush outcast. Your next outcast card costs 1 less. Even though there's not a ton of good outcasts in the game, this effect doesn't just last you until end of turn. So, I mean, there's stuff like Spirit Sight that's not bad, Chaos Leech isn't the worst thing in the world. Because it's not random and you get to decide what's in your deck, there's some stuff that, you can use. And the problem with this is, again, there's not a lot of outcasts right now. I mean, if you were to look at it, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 outcast cards that are currently in the set right now. But cards like this are just fine if you have like one outcast you want to do that you just need to get cheaper. And what's really funny is if you look at the thing, if you look at the deck here, they didn't really add too many more outcast cards to this particular patch. So you're not getting any more outcasts that were coming in here. And this is where we're going to talk about number 2. Number 2 is the Wicked Exile, which is a 2-mana, 2/3 regular card for Demon. For Demon Hunter, that said after you play an outcast card, add a random outcast card head. The same reason that makes that card bad for pretty much almost every other situation makes this card good. If you can start the chain, you can basically play a lot of stuff that's outcast because there's not a lot that hurts you. There's just not a lot that helps you, but there's also not too many points where you'll get stuck. I mean, your worst stuck is the Vengeful Spirit again. Your second worst stuck is probably the Kurtras. The problem is you don't have any real low stuff to put in here. You can get the Runner that's outcast. you can get the card that just came out, the other card in here that we just went over, the Fierce Outsider. Those are your draws. But I mean, later on this card is going to get worse, but right now there is some stuff that you can get some like interesting changes. And the number one card for us is going to be wrong one. It's going to be the Vengeful. Vengeful is a 7 mana 5/5 rush. It costs 1 less for each outcast you've played this game. Now, this is going to bank even when this is in your deck, I hope. Because if this has to be in your hand, this isn't the best card in the world. But if this is can be banked, even if it's in your deck, you play a couple outcasts and this comes down for, 0. And you gotta be careful about anything that comes down for 0 in the game at any point. The problem again with this is right now, there still is only like 10 outcasts in the game right now. And again, are you going to put outcasts in here that are bad outcasts just to make this work? I mean, the one that you're looking for would be for like stuff like Chaos Bolt and I-Beams, which would bring this down by like 4 if you got all 4 of them. And maybe Spectral Sight, which would bring this down to 6. But after that point, are you really running such a runner just to make this get down to 0? I mean, it's good if you can get this down. You got to be careful about anything that you can make into 0. I mean, 0 out of nowhere is just always scary. Any card that can end up being 0, you always got to watch out for. So those are the ones that came out for Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter kind of got a weird hodgepodge at this point, because you got Outcast that doesn't really have Outcast to work on, and you got spell casting that really doesn't have that great of spells to get. Well, thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.